Hey, hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark, and I have been forgetting to ask recently, but how are yous? Welcome back. We're in the tunnel. I'm going to start working right away on trying to design these. In the time since I've actually recorded the last episode, I've had some ideas in my head that I would definitely like to try. So obviously I showed this last time, and the glowstone lights up the shadows on the stairs, so it makes it the same color. So it doesn't look different like that over there. I'm going to test this out and see what we can do. For example, if we get rid of the two middle blocks, having the glowstone just there and there still keeps the color. Which means we could go back to doing the design that we were talking about and having the individual ones, and we would just need to have the glowstone in the corners. But does this have to just be this design? What if we moved the stairs, and what if we played around with them and made them, like a different pattern, bigger, longer? I'm going to play around with it, and I'm going to see if I can create anything that I actually like. Then we're going to test to see how we light it up, or test to see how we can light it up and get rid of the shadows. Then we're going to work on creating them and making them individual. Sound good? I figure to keep some kind of spacing between them, they have to be 3 wide, so they can always have the middle block. Because say if this went 5 and it stretched out over here, this one couldn't be 5. But they can definitely go taller. So I've made this Space Invader looking one. Is it Space Invaders I'm thinking of? This is what a Space Invader looks like. I'm saying that off the top of my head now. I'm gonna put the image in. I'm gonna see if they actually look similar. I have no idea right now. Anyway, we're getting off topic. I'm gonna design these other two on the wall here and see if we find one that I like. They don't all have to be the same. So the two choices we have, they're all the same and then the designs in them are different. Or we have different borders and then that's what is different about them. I'm not sure which will look better. So we have a lot of trial and error ahead. So I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so what we've come up with so far is the Space Invader, almost picture frame, and then just a chunky cross. Yeah. I really like the way that this looks. I think this border could go around all of them. And I have a hunch that if we just put glowstone behind the 4 stairs, it should light up and get rid of all the shadows. And then that'll actually give us quite a lot of blocks to work with to actually create a pattern. Let me test it out real quick. For actually once in my life, I was actually right. Having all the 4 glowstone there actually gets rid of the shadows and it completely blends in. And then we have the 3x2 area with the up and the down. I think we can definitely create something with that space. If everywhere here, all 4 of them, not all 4 of them, there's way more than 4. I have absolutely no clue why I said 4. If above all the lecterns looked like that, and then we just had all these being different, then it opens up the middle column here. We could turn that into something else as well. We could have them separated by the bricks. They don't have to be the smooth stone. Now that I've said that, I'm going to create one of these, but I'm actually going to use the stone bricks instead, and I'm going to see which one looks better. But I think we might stick with the frames being made out of... actually, because as I'm saying that, the frame, air quotes, includes this middle bit. See, if that was stone brick, the rest of it would then have to be stone brick. Because if that was all stone brick, let's just replace that there, pretend that didn't happen. If that was all stone brick, that would be stone brick. So then just that, the stairs, and then above it would be actually all that's left with stone. So now I have to decide if I'm going to make it brick or just stone. I think we keep it stone because then we can just add the detailing in the stone brick and we'll find a way to do that properly. It doesn't have to be all stone. I've said stone too much. It doesn't sound like a word. So I'm going to give you a break and I'm going to replace all 3 of these in a row with that design. We'll put the glowstone in and we'll make sure it looks as cool as I think it does. No idea why I chose such a low angle there to talk to you, but, here we are. I think that looks really cool. I think that's definitely the design we go for. I think this opens up a lot of opportunity. I think when this all comes together, and all of them have it, that will look special. That'll look class. If I forget, remind me behind that glowstone there, the top left, is the outside world. That's an easy fix. I just can't be bothered going outside right now. And just as I've said that, I'm going to have a decent amount of terraforming to do, because I think if I do this... Yeah, so we go out here. If we put the frame in, it's on that, then the design is behind it one, then we'd have to have the wall. That's not too much work, and once it's actually in, we'll know how we have to design it, and we know how we have to make it. Hi, apparently. Once the designs are in and the frames are in, we'll know exactly what it'll look like, and then afterwards is when we design the outside. The outside doesn't actually need designed. I don't know why I'm trying to talk to you and walk up the stairs at the same time. I can't multitask, it's just an issue. Instead of trying to mess around and do the outside now, and then destroy it multiple times while we're actually putting in the frames, I think we do all that first, and then we worry about what the outside looks like. That is a very obvious thing, but I just want you guys to realize that I do have the ability to think of this stuff on my own. Sometimes I can be smart, but it's very infrequent. Hi. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. And when we wake up, it'll be the morning, the birds will be outside chirping, and I'll have most of the frames in. Sound good? Okay, so we are running into a couple issues. Nothing major. I'm just not 100% how we actually fix them. So here, we just need to get rid of the window. That's not really a problem. I know how to fix that. We just get rid of the window. We then replace it with something else later on. Easy. Perfect. Great. Something I didn't think about. So these are all perfect. These are all fine. Okay, that one needs glowstone. Terrific. Right. These are all perfect. These are all fine. And I'm going to look at this for 5 seconds. I'm going to see if you can work out what the issue is. Perfect. Okay. Where does this glowstone sit on the other side? Exactly. And I'm not really sure what to do about that. And when I put the glowstone in there, it will be there. So these don't work. And it'll be the same as these two here. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Do we have the 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 picture frames here? So we have this design in this corridor. So we would then have a different design in this corridor where that glowstone doesn't interfere with that. And then we just copy it and put it on these two here. For now, I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to fill this in. And I think that's what we do. I think we have this design here, and we work out another design for this corridor here in a way that doesn't interfere with that. Alternatively, we have the picture frames here on this wall and up there, and then we have different designs for this corridor here. It's honestly either or. Let me have a quick think about it. I really thought I was onto a winner here, and I'm just trying to get even slightly over the top, just too fancy with it, but then I remembered that down there is going to cause an issue there. So I'm apparently still working on it. Alright, so we have a new design here, and it's a shame. I definitely don't like it as much as I like the diamonds over there, but there's also not really much we can do about it. With the placement of the glowstone, we kind of have to do something like this. I am just noticing that doesn't look right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, apparently the ceiling is... Somehow the ceiling's the wrong height. Right, I'm gonna go make this on a wall where the ceiling is the right height so we can actually see what it looks like. Sound good? Alright, so me being me, I completely forgot the actual design. And even though it's only like, 10, 15 blocks up the tunnel, I couldn't be bothered going to check, so I just tried to make it again. And I made this X shape, and I prefer it way more than the actual design that's up there. So that's a, let's chalk that one up to an accidental win. How is it snowing in here? Anyway. So that's an accidental win, and I think that's the design that we will be going for. What I also found out, this wall here is only 1 thick, which means we have a lot more terraforming to do. But that's not the end of the world. We bring this down a little bit more. This staircase will be hugging the mountain a bit more, which, in my opinion, isn't a bad thing. And it also might hide the entranceway a bit more, which is exactly the kind of vibe that I was wanting. I just kind of want it to be in the mountain rather than outside of the mountain, if that makes any sense at all. So I've now got a decent amount of work to do. I've got the ceiling to bring up, we've got these patterns to put in, and again, I'm just going to keep it the way that we were doing it before. We'll do all the terraforming once everything is finalized, just so we don't do anything and then have to destroy it again. Does that sound good? Alright, so that took a lot longer than I thought it would. For some reason, it was just annoying. Everywhere is now in, and yeah, as you can see, there's just holes everywhere. There's just isn't a wall here. But everywhere is in. The roof is being lifted. These chests are going to disappear, hopefully sometime soon. Everywhere has its own frame, which means I can now start putting in the patterns. And the patterns go in, then we do the terraforming, then it gets pretty much sorted. Sound good? Sounds great. So the idea that I have for the patterns is just something similar to this, or similar to these. So nothing crazy, nothing too fancy, just different colors, different styles, fill in the space and fill in the area. Nothing really to do with the connection to the book, just something that when you're walking past, it's bright, it's colourful, and it just makes the place look fancy. I'm wondering if these glowstone here will project out enough to light up the corridor, to the point where we can then get rid of having the torches on the wall, or if we'll still have to worry about having some lighting. That's still something that's on my mind. So let's do something like that. Okay, there's light blue there, never mind, let's get rid of that. So just designs like that. They don't mean anything, they don't look like anything, they're just art. They're just something like that, although those two might be too similar. They're all open to change, they're all open to interpretation, and if suddenly there's one that I don't like along the lines, we just get rid of it, we just put something else in. So I'm going to work on a few of these and we'll cut back once I think maybe I've got all this corridor done. Sound good? Alright, so one corridor is in and it's a lot more colourful, it's a lot more bright, it's a lot more vibrant than it was looking a wee minute ago. I'm not sure if I keep with these colours that I have, so the orange, red, yellow, then the blues, or if I just throw in all of the colours. I go make more concrete and I throw them all in. I'm not 100% sure which would look the best. I'm loving using the andesite, the diorite. I was going to use the graphite as well, or the granite even, not graphite, but I just didn't think it fit in very well. The andesite obviously merges well with the stone, and the diorite is quite a nice grey white, whereas the granite is very pinky. But I like what we've got going so far. So now that we've started putting the colours in, I'm not really feeling the stone as much. I think it's either too light or it's just too plain. So I think what I'm going to do is the wall that's now behind me, I'm going to replace it with the stone bricks, and obviously that'll bring more texture, a little bit of a darker colour, and I'm going to see if that's the route that I want to go. I figure if that is the way we want to go, we might as well do that before we put in the rest of the patterns. And if we're going to be terraforming outside anyway, it won't affect the look of the mountain or anything like that. So it would be more work and it would be a little bit more of a pain, but it's not that much of a hassle, especially if we do it now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if that's what I prefer. If it isn't, then we start to wonder what direction we go. I think I prefer that a bit more. We can still add in the cracked bricks, get even more texture in there. I think the dark texture really brings it all together. I'm still not 100%. The roof hasn't been done yet. The opposite walls haven't been done. And maybe once it's all together, it'll look better. But then it'll also tie into the entrance a bit more. And then when you're down here, you'll see that it's all very completely different texture. I think it'll look cool. I do think that's where I want to go with this. I'm glad that I tried. I think that I do like that more. I switched around these as well. These were bricks. Now that I've just moved it back to being smooth stone. The roof will get done. The roof will be changed. Everything will be all textured. It'll be class. We could, now that these are stone bricks, could look into doing something with these blocks. What if these... I've not got them on me. Give me a second. So what if these blocks were these? Yeah, that could definitely work. I think I'd probably have to get rid of the chisel blocks in here because otherwise that just looks like a continuation, but that could definitely work. It'll help break it up. It'll bring in all the pattern. Yeah, I quite like that. How will it work on these? So it would be... Yeah, we would just put it there. We'd put it on the back of those stairs and that would be... Yeah, that'll still work fine. Put them there, just like that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, class. We have a plan. Everywhere is now stone bricks, apart from the roof, which will need changed at some point, and it just kind of comes to a stop here. I don't know what I'm doing with this corridor yet, so I didn't bother changing it. But everything now looks much better. It looks a lot more medieval. I actually prefer it way more now that it's all in. I like the sporadic placement of these. I might find other places for them as well, like maybe the center blocks here. Not that you'll see the ones behind the lectern, but up there. I might replace those with the chiseled ones as well. Create some more difference between them. We still also have the cracked blocks to put in sporadically as well, so I think it can all come together quite nicely. Now I don't know if I go back to making the patterns or I leave them and make sure this is the style that I want to go with. I really like the way that they look. I like the vibrance of them. I like the colorfulness. I like the light that comes from them. I just don't know if it really fits the actual overall theme. My thinking was the colors kind of match the lectern in colors, and it helps break up from the gray and all the different kind of stone. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not 100% sure about it, but I'm going to leave it a wee bit and I'm going to see if it grows on me. With that being said, if I did make that one there chiseled, I don't know if it would fit here right, because if that was chiseled, that might not... Right, let's do that right now. Does that take away from it? Then I kind of feel like one needs to be there, although when it's here... Yeah, I don't like the look of that on these ones. I think it would look okay there. I definitely don't think it looks okay there. Trial and error, and that one unfortunately was an error. So, yeah, you live and you learn. Today we're going to finish off the episode like we did a couple other times before when we showed off Shamu and then we showed off the bobbleheads. We're going to take a closer look at the Ferris wheel because it turned out class. And it was a massive pain to make. Trying to build large circles in a game that is just full of squares gets tough. Then trying to create the symmetry with all the different carriages. I'm now underwater and you can't even see the Ferris wheel. It was a real struggle, but we made it work and it turned out class. It's easily one of the coolest things we have in here. And it's one of those things that no matter where you are, you can always kind of see it. Whether you're flying in, you're just kind of just chilling around Turtle Beach, we're over at the temple, we're up at my house. You can just kind of see it. And it definitely ties just everything down here together. It really brings together the idea of like a carnival, like a beach fair. It's just it's class. It's really, really class. Honestly, wouldn't be an episode without it starting to rain. So anyway, we are at the end of today's episode. We got a whole lot of work done on the tunnel. Next episode, I'm either going to be finishing the patterns or we'll move on to something else for the time being, just because I don't want to continually stuck on the same project and it just gets boring and tiresome. So I don't know what we're doing next time, but hopefully you'll come back and you'll find out. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm still sticking to my schedule of putting out videos every 3 days. We've got a few projects on the go right now, so there's always going to be, hopefully, something to do. Having said that, and with that being said, I hope you stay out of trouble, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll see yous later.